Alright guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you some of the best Valkyrie cams and Mozzie hack drone spots on the Outback map. So the first Valkyrie camera that I'm going to be showing you is from the showers. So in order to get here you have to go from the motel hallway. It's across the laundry. So if you go from the showers, what you have to do is run out from the showers and toss the camera as close as you can to the billboard. Once you do that, just go back out. You won't be spotted from the enemy if they try to spawn peek you. Yes, you will get spotted for a second or two, but they will not have the time to kill you once you're going back to the window itself. And if you go on the camera, you'll see that you're covering two of the garage windows. You're covering downstairs door and the window that's not easily spotted between the car and the hotel sign. And you can see the window that I just jumped from, and on the left you can see the window where the balcony is, so you can even maybe sometimes run out from that window and get an easy kill. The next Valkyrie camera that I'm going to be covering is in the garage itself. So if you're defending garage, there's two windows that you need to be careful of. So what you can do is whenever an enemy is pushing the left window, you can just look at top where the shadows meet the sun. You can place the camera right exactly at that spot, and if the enemy is there, you will be able to see them, but they won't be able to see the camera as easy. So with this camera, you're covering the windows themselves, you're covering downstairs as well as the stairs, and of course the site in the office. The next camera that is as easy as the garage one is between the garage and the office. What you can do, you can toss the camera a little to the right on the ceiling and toss it right there, and you'll be able to see both the garage and the office part. So if you have troubles handling the site, and if you have enemies already in the site, you can give some easy callouts and win the round, possibly because you have that spot that they're not gonna be expecting. Alright, so after we covered the garage and the office cameras, I'm going to be showing you a couple of them near the games room and the mechanical bull. So when you're defending games room, there is a really useful camera that you can put above the mechanical bull. So when you're aiming near the ceiling at the metal beam, just put it in the corner. So when you toss it like that, you'll be able to see almost all of the space between the mechanical bull and the window. So when they're pushing the site, you'll be able to see them pushing the door or hiding behind the mechanical bull. So it's a really good spot when the enemies are pushing the door, so you can know when to pre-fire or when to toss a C4 and get a free kill. So after above the mechanical bull camera spot, there is one close by for defending the office and the party room itself, and it's a really good spot. It's above the speaker where the blacked out part is. When you put the camera here, you'll be able to see the electric room door, party room door, and the office door as well, the games room if somebody's pushing from there. So this camera gives a wide range of visibility for the enemies that are pushing, so you'll be able to catch them off guard. It's a really neat spot, and it's not easily spotted as it blends with the environment. The next camera spots that I'll be covering are going to be near the piano room and the hallway itself. So you know the piano room, there is a balcony right here where usually the enemy is pushing, or the stairs itself. So one of the more useful cameras is to put it right on the fan itself. So why would you put it on the fan itself? Well, people are not going to be looking at the fan because it goes into their peripheral vision of the site itself. So if they have a hollow, it's going to be hard to spot the camera, or if they're pushing from the balcony, they're going to be hardly noticing the camera itself. So yeah, this camera has good visibility. From it, you'll be able to see the stairs, the games room, and a little bit of hallway and the balcony, and yeah, it's a really neat spot to have. Next camera, it's a pretty simple one. I don't usually use it, but it gives you good coverage of the hallway, and you'll be able to see the east hallway, and you'll be able to see some of the northwest hallway if they're pushing from there. So this camera also gives some good visibility. Alright, so after covering that motel hallway camera, there's a really neat camera spot near the west stairs. So if you aim right above this blue box and put it right here, you'll be able to see the bedroom, you'll be able to see the stairs, and you'll be able to see inside the A site or the laundry site and a bit of the hallway. So this camera is not that easily visible because if you're pushing stairs, you won't be able to see it because of your hollow sight if you're using it, or if you're using an ACOG, so it won't be easily spotted as from the enemy. And if the enemy is pushing from the west side from the window, they won't be able to even see the camera, but you'll be able to see it themselves. And you can put a C4 down below and maybe C4 trick if they're jumping through the window. So it's a really good camera. It covers multiple spots and it's not easily noticeable. And the last camera for upstairs that is pretty useful for running out is when you're running out on the balcony in the piano room. You can toss the camera right here and you'll be able to see the whole balcony and some stairs. So you might be able to run out on the enemies themselves and get a good spawn kill. Or you might be able to go from the east side and peek on the window or the stairs themselves. So it's a really good camera. It provides you with some good intel, and enemies are not going to be able to see this camera really easy. So yeah, this is all from the upstairs camera. We're going to be moving downstairs. I'm going to be showing you some of the better cams downstairs as well. So to start off with downstairs, there's a really useful camera that almost nobody ever checks for that spot. It is at the back entrance. You can put it right in the top corner to the right. And once you do that, you'll be able to see the enemies pushing the door on the right, and you'll be able to see the hallway and bottom of the stairs. So what you can do here is you can wait for the enemies at the end of the hallway and run out as soon as they try to push the back entrance and possibly get a kill. Or you can ban the trick if this door is castled up and they won't be able to, of course, get in. The next camera is in the reptile hallway. There's actually two spots for this camera, and there's one on top of the fan. You can put it wherever on the fan you want, but you cannot put it on the bottom part because it'll fall off just to test it out. So you'll have to put it on the top, or you can put it on this wooden beam or the wooden ceiling. I don't know if this counts as a wooden ceiling, but you can put it in the middle of the ceiling and you'll be able to see the hallway itself, but the window will be blocked. So you won't be able to see the window and you won't be able to see the door below, but you'll be able to see the whole hallway. So if the enemy's pushing, you can get an easy kill on the door with a C4 or with a pre-fire on the door of the sites A or B, the nature room or the bush ranger room. After the reptile hallway, there's also a useful camera in the motel reception. So if you are defending kitchen or if you are defending the compressor room, depending on which mode you're playing, secure area or the bomb, there is a really good camera that covers multiple things, and that is above the TV in the reception room. So if you put it above the TV, you'll be able to see the door, you'll be able to see the window, and you'll be able to see the hallway on the west side. So it covers multiple sides and it gathers really useful info, and it's not that visible from the window or the door itself. The next cam spot is located in the garage or the bottom part of the garage. So if you put the camera here, you'll be able to see a little bit of the space upstairs. If somebody's walking, you'll be able to see their feet, you'll be able to see the stairs, and most importantly, you'll be able to see the compressor room and the room next to it, as well as the left part of the garage. And as for the last Valkyrie camera spot, it is at the back entrance. If you put it on the yellow pillar, you'll be able to see the bathroom between the bush ranger and the nature room site. So you'll be able to run out there and possibly get a kill, or run out if somebody's going up the stairs or down the stairs or literally next to the stairs. You can run out in them and you can get an easy spawn peek on the enemies. Alright, so before I show you the Mozzie hack drone spots, I just want to say that there are some similarities to the Valkyrie camera spots. So you can use the Valkyrie cam spots where I place the Mozzie's hack drones as well. So the first spot that I want to show you, just as I showed you for the Valkyrie camera spot, there are some similarities. You can climb on this metal shelf right here. So if you toss your drone in the middle of the shelf, just aim at the edge, you'll be able to climb up here. It takes a couple of times, but once you make it, you'll be able to place your drone on the top here. You'll be able to see the window on the west side, and you'll be able to see the window on the east side, and it's not that visible by the attackers, and you'll have a possible droning spot here. The next drone spot that I actually discovered recently is when you climb on top of the fridge and on top of the clock, you can put your drone on the ledge right here, and you'll be able to see the office and the garage itself. So how you do this is you climb on the window right here, and from there you go to the freezer and on top of the clock, and from the clock you go upstairs. So once you put your drone right here, you'll be able to circle around and see if there are enemies close by. The next Mozzie drone spot is located in the electrical room itself. So if you go from the office room to the office supplies and towards the electrical room, there is a window that attackers usually like to go through. And if you put your drone on top of this machine, you'll be able to have a clear spot to see if they are in or if they're trying to push in. So you can either like toss a C4 or maybe try to pre-fire them on the window. And of course, you have the look on the lounge in the northwest. After the electrical room, there is a really hidden spot for a drone on top of the television. So if you put your drone on top of the TV, and from there you can jump on this reflector, and from the reflector you can camp on the ledge right here, or the wooden beam. So this camera provides you with the info on the electrical room door, it provides you with the party room door and office door, and of course the mechanical bull room. As you move west in the motel hallway next to the dorms, there is a really useful camera in the dorms themselves, because the enemies literally every time want to push this motel balcony to seize the dorms and push the other sites. So what you can do is you can place the drone on this bed, and from this bed you can climb on top of the clock, and from the clock you can climb on top of the bed. It just takes a couple of tries, but once you do it, you'll be able to see the windows themselves, and you'll be able to see the other room or the bathroom and the stairs themselves. So with this drone spot, you can go from below and you can pre-place the C4 right here, and if you see the enemy pushing, you can activate the C4 and get a free kill. After the dorms, you can as well put the camera on top of the blue box, just as I did with the Valkyrie camera. It provides you with some useful info on the hallway, dorms, and the stairs, depending on how you place it, as well as laundry. Now, as we move downstairs into the garage, there is a really particular good spot for Mozzie's hack drone. With this Mozzie's drone on top of the big blue machine, you'll be able to hold the whole garage, as well as the motel reception and the door inside the compressor room. So this camera spot is particularly useful because you can see the top as well as the southeast door if somebody's pushing or if somebody's breaching down with the breach charge or the termite charge. After the motel reception room, there's a couple of useful drone spots in the reptile hallway. So if you use your drone and climb on this machine right here, you'll be able to see the window on the southwest, you'll be able to see the hallway itself, but you won't be able to see the further west part of the reptile hallway. So for that, there is actually a spot for that as well. So if you climb here on the table, and from the table you climb on these metal bars, you'll be able to climb on the fan itself. So you'll be able to see the west side, you'll be able to see the window, you'll be able to see the door of the site, as well as the door on the other side. So this is as well a pretty useful camera, but you won't be able to see the north stairs and the hallway as clear as the other drone. After the reptile hallway, you want to go towards the bush range room, and inside the bathroom itself, there is a pretty useful drone spot on top of the wooden shelf. So if you climb on the table right here and put a drone on the top here, you will be able to see the window that the enemies usually want to push. And if you are the enemy from outside, you won't be able to easily spot the drone if you pull it back behind the wood itself. So it's not that easily visible, and it gives you info on the enemies if they're trying to push the window, so you can either peek or toss the C4 for a sneaky kill while they're trying to drone out. And as for the last couple of cameras that I'm going to be showing you, they are located all near the restaurant. So the first camera near the restaurant that I'm going to be showing you is in the restaurant lobby, where usually the enemies want to push from outside, from the north or northeast east side. So what you want to do, you want to climb this Handley sign here, and after you climb on the sign, you want to jump on the window with the metal bars, and from there you can climb on this bike right here. You cannot climb on these wooden beams because they apparently do not exist or are not, you know, counting as objects, because you just fall through like they don't exist. So you can just put it here on the bike and you'll be able to see if the enemies are pushing this door. So you'll be able to camp it behind or use the C4 or whatever and get an easy kill on them. As for the next spots, you can put the drone on the table right here, climb on the hat stand, and from there you can climb on the light. From here you can climb on the other light as well, so you have to move a little backwards so the drone doesn't fall off, and you'll have an even greater spot for your drone to see this whole area where you can check the restaurant and you can check the gear room as well. And as for the last drone of the day, it is placed on this window with the metal bars. So what you do is you go on the top of the table right here, you climb the hat stand, and from the hat stand you climb the metal window. And with this, you have the whole reptile hallway covered, you have the kitchen covered, you have the window covered, as well as the stairs. So it's a pretty neat camera to have when you're defending the kitchen if you're playing a secure area. So as I mentioned before, when I started the Mozzie's hack drone spots, you can use all of these spots with Valkyrie, of course with some alteration on the spots, like don't put it exactly where the drone is, but a bit higher so it's not visible, or on the ledges which are darkened spots. But yeah, this is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you did, click that like button. If you didn't, well, you know what to do. And as always, subscribe. It would mean a lot, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.